Hey guys, thanks for joining the channel and stopping by. In this video, I'm comparing the Google Pixel 5a 5G with the Motorola One 5G Ace. So, first of all, these compare very good. They're both they're not expensive phones. You got the Pixel goodness in the Google Pixel 5a, and you got a couple of things up the sleeve on the Motorola One 5G Ace, notably the battery and the price. So yeah, the 5a 5G, that one you can get for $450 available from Google. And the One 5G Ace, Motorola sells it from their website normally at $400, but you could find it as low as $20 on Metro PCS, and anywhere from $20 all the way to $400. Now the Pixel 5a 5G is only available in the US and in Japan, and it's not available in prepaid carriers, so it makes it availability a little bit less. The 5G Ace could be had pretty much in a lot more areas. So let's start off with the with first things first. Both of these are 5G phones, so they're modern phones. If you're in the 5G area, you're gonna get some nice, pretty good speed. So one is $450, the other one you can get it for as low as $20. So it's a win right there for the Motorola One 5G Ace. Now for the weight, the Pixel 5a it weighs less than the 5G Ace, 6.4 ounces versus the 7.4 ounces on the Motorola. So a little bit better in the weight department with the Pixel. Build quality is a little bit better on the Pixel 5a 5G. You got the aluminum frame, aluminum back with like the metal feeling, so it has a good build quality. The Motorola One 5G Ace is a plasticky feel. Definitely does not feel good, but if you're like me, I stick a TPU case on the back of any phone anyways for practical reasons, so it prevents scratches and dings. I also put a tempered screen protector in front, so I spend less than $10 and I protect it really good. So in the build department, it's not, to me, it really doesn't matter. Now here's a difference right here. The Pixel 5a has an eSIM embedded inside, so that way you could have two different phone numbers, two different data plans at the same time, and also you don't have to have a physical SIM card to activate service anywhere in the world. Motorola One 5G Ace doesn't have that. You are only stuck with a physical SIM card. Now, there's not a lot of phones that offer an eSIM, so the Pixel line, the iPhone, and some more expensive Samsungs have that option. So it's in a very exclusive class with the eSIM capabilities. The Pixel 5a also has dust and water resistance up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. The Motorola is only water repellent coating. To me, it's not too much of a big deal, just because I rarely, take my phones out in the water, near a pool, near the shower. But if you do have kids or something like that, and they like to play with your phone and they don't really care how the phone ends up, then that might be something that you're willing to have in a phone, but it's going to cost you, $450 in the Pixel 5a. Now for the display, the Pixel 5a is 6.3 inches versus the Motorola has a bigger screen at 6.7 inches. You got 60 hertz on both of these devices. None of these are 90 hertz or 120 hertz. To me, it doesn't really make a big difference. Scrolling and refresh rate aren't a big deal to me, so it's a tie right there. So the Motorola One at that price point is a little bit better, especially at $20 is a better deal. Both of these are around 85% screen to body ratio, so very similar right there. Resolution they're both 1080p displays. They both have pretty good PPI. They're both more than 400 PPI density, and that's pretty good. Doesn't matter how much you spend on the phone, that's a pretty good display right there. But one is $450, the other one could be had for as low as $20. And I believe you can find the Motorola One on AT&T prepaid in the US for $130 as well. So lots of deals to be had on the 5G Ace. A little bit of a bonus on the Pixel 5a 5G, it has an always on display, so you could interact with the device, looking at messages and notifications as they come in, and without having to reach for your phone on a desk or something. The Motorola One doesn't have that. And for the software, kind of a big deal here. That's kind of what sets the Pixel line apart. You're getting Android 11 on the Pixel, you got Android 10 on the Motorola One. So the big difference is that the Pixel will get updates right away from Google, stock Android, very pure and fast and fluid, and you're gonna get 3 years of updates. And you're gonna get them on day one. The Motorola One 5G Ace is similar, that it has stock Android, but you're not gonna get any real meaningful updates. Pretty much you're gonna be stuck with older software as the years go by. But to me, honestly, I don't see a lot of helpful newer innovations when features added as Android progresses. I could rock an 8, 9, 10, or 11 Android phone, and I don't see too much of a difference. As long as all the apps work, I think most people will be happy with your typical Twitter, your WhatsApp, your light gaming like Dead Trigger and Grand Theft Auto. I know you could run probably Call of Duty and stuff like that. All those typical apps are going to run on both of these versions of Android and the software that it has. But both of these will feel very similar since they're both close to stock Android. Chipset 765G on the Pixel, 750G on the Motorola One 5G Ace. Both of these are going to be very similar, and like I said, everyday apps except intensive gaming and high resolution video editing and stuff like that won't really work on these chipsets. But everybody else and 99% of apps out there, Twitter, WhatsApp, shooting video, checking email, looking at maps, all that good stuff will run perfectly fine. Now for the storage on these devices, the Pixel 5a has 128 gigs of storage built in. The Motorola One also has 128 gigs of storage built in. So one is $450. One is, it could be had as low as $20. So a little bit of a better deal on the Motorola. 128 gigs is more than enough for most people. I don't see anybody really needing more than that, especially since we're streaming everything over 5G and there's no buffering. We don't need to wait for anything. We don't need to store a lot of stuff on our phones. But if we do, we could offload it and then delete it later, such as downloading a movie on Netflix and then deleting it later. And I believe people should be in the habit of deleting their unnecessary videos, or editing them where there's a shorter and better, and remove blurry photos. 128 gigs is more than enough. And if you do manage to want a lot of storage, the Motorola One has a micro SD card slot. Me personally, I don't use it as much anymore, especially at this amount of storage. You should be fine, but the Pixel 5a doesn't have that storage. It's a tie between these devices. Now for the RAM, both of these have 6 gigs of RAM, which is more than enough to run all your typical apps in the background. As long as you're not having a lot of intensive apps and hundreds of apps running in the background, you should be fine. In the camera department, the Pixel 5a has 2 cameras in the back, 12 megapixel main camera, 16 megapixel ultra wide. Motorola One has 3 cameras, 48 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro. And both of these phones shoot at 4K. I'll be totally honest, you'll take great pictures with both of these devices in the daytime, but if you're serious about videos and pictures, the Pixel 5a will definitely beat it out in more situations, especially at night, and also has optical stabilization and stuff like that, so you got smoother videos. Just if you really care about video and cameras and pictures, the Pixel 5a is going to be way better. But in the daytime, the Motorola One will take awesome videos and pictures. Selfie cameras, you got 8 megapixels on the 8 megapixels on the 5G, and 16 megapixels on the Motorola One 5G Ace. Both of them shoot at 1080p. You'll take on both of these phones. You'll take great selfie pictures and videos. It's kind of a tie. Both of these also come with a bonus of having the headphone jack. Me personally, I don't really use it anymore. I've moved on to wireless. I rarely use the headphone jack, but if you still like to connect it to listen to music to your car or something like that, it's there if you need it, or if you need a mic or something like that. Both of these have Bluetooth. You got 5.0 on the Pixel, 5.1 on the 5G Ace. And both of these will connect happily to your wireless speakers, wireless headphones, and your smartwatches. Both of these phones have NFC, mainly used for payment services, and they both have USB Type-C, pretty standard stuff. Another similar feature is that both of these have a rear-mounted fingerprint reader, very reliable way. I personally like fingerprint readers on the back or on the side. I'm not too fond of the in-the-display readers. Those are usually reserved for higher-end phones, but they could be kind of finicky sometimes. And last but not least is the battery, and both of these have nice big batteries. Pixel has always had a history of having bad battery life, but finally the Pixel 5a shows off 2 days of battery life with a 4,680 milliamp battery. The Motorola One 5G Ace has a 5,000 milliamp battery. So both of these have batteries that will last you 3 days, especially with that 5G. This is good to hear that these have great battery life. Both of these have fast charging, not the fastest. You got 18 watts on the Pixel 5a, 15 watts on the Motorola, and both of these do have the power brick in the box itself, so that's good to hear. Higher end devices don't have that power brick anymore, and you have to buy them separately, so that's pretty good to hear on both of these devices. So what's the verdict on both of these devices? They compare very well to each other, but there are some areas where these phones really make a difference. But let's go through like the things that really make a difference to me and what separate these two devices. So if you really like having super fast updates, obviously the Pixel will be your phone. Both of these have similar stock versions of Android, so they'll feel the same, but the 5A software is going to last you longer. You get more updates and you're going to get them on day one. Price wise, the One 5G Ace is a better phone, and with the value, that's going to make a big difference, because you can get this phone for at least for around 20 bucks if you are on prepaid. The Pixel 5a availability is kind of slacking because it's not on prepaid. It would be a perfect phone if it was found on prepaid, because you can get it probably for free or for 50 bucks as well, and I would think it would sell like hotcakes, but that's not the case, and it's only available in the US and in Japan. So that's the one downfall right there with the Pixel 5a. It's very, very set in its ways at 450 bucks. So you can't really get out of that price range. The Motorola One has more options in the price range. And you're getting a lot of the same things, like the storage is the same at 128. They both have big batteries. They both have the same amount of RAM. So on a day-to-day basis, both of these phones will feel exactly the same, except in the camera department. The Pixel 5a will take really great videos and pictures. That's what will set these devices apart. But there's just too many good things about the Motorola One 5G Ace that you could have it for $20, and it's going to feel pretty much from day-to-day activities. All your apps are going to run the same. 99% of apps out there, like Maps and WhatsApp and messaging and social media, YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, all that good stuff. Both of these will run them pretty much the same. Well, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.